ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 10, last part. As mentioned before, Krishna says, one who tries to approach me to become Krishna conscious, but at the same time wants to become materially happy, is not very intelligent. He is wasting his time. Hmm. One who wants to become Krishna conscious, but at the same time wants to become materially happy, is not very intelligent. Actually, many devotees who come into Krishna consciousness possibly come with this artho, artharthi, jignasu, gnani, through the truth, artho, artharthi, some distress, want of wealth, etc. And then, they think, okay, bhakti is for becoming materially happy. Uh, no, this is what most people who are pious do by going to demigods or even to Vishnu, mainly say Tirupati. People go to Tirupati, Balaji, and they go to him for material happiness. But that is not bhakti. But Lord Balaji is so merciful that he is still accepting all their offerings and purifying them. And eventually, we've seen many people who, whether they are Telugu speaking or not, if they have been worshipping Balaji for a long time, eventually they'll come to Krishna. Of course, some people want to remain, want to worship Balaji, but at least they come to the path of bhakti, away from this business mindedness. So Krishna says that one who wants to be materially happy is not very intelligent, because this world itself is dukkhalayam. How can one be materially happy here? The only way one can be materially happy is by not being too concerned about material things. And when one becomes unconcerned, in Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, without being without cares, being without care, 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 meaning not bothering too much about this material world. And only then, gradually, as all the prarabdha karma is destroyed, then yeah, one doesn't even have suffering, and he can, be without suffering. But of course, at that stage, for the devotee, the happiness is purely spiritual. It's not from material things at all. So, literally, somebody who's just wanting to be materially happy and at the same time want to make progress in Krishna conscious will find it very difficult, because both cannot happen parallelly. He's not very intelligent. He's wasting his time. Our main business is to become Krishna conscious. See, main business. Uh, Prabhupada uses this word business. Uh, oops. Yeah. Our main business is to become Krishna conscious. That is the main business of human life. If we waste our time striving for material improvement, please note this, striving for material improvement, waste our time striving for material improvement, and forget to chant Hare Krishna, that will be a great loss. Now, many devotees might say, no, we are not forgetting to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, very good. We are not forgetting to chant Hare Krishna, but we are chanting Hare Krishna in the worst of mindset, the worst of consciousness, right? So we cannot get up early in the morning because we have late night calls, and so we get up late, then we don't chant in Brahma Muhurta. Somehow we just finish our rounds. This is not chanting Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna means with love, affection, without offenses. This is chanting Hare Krishna, not somehow just managing to finish our rounds. We can't call it chanting Hare Krishna. And it is obvious that somebody who is striving hard for material improvement will not have time. He'll not have time. And then he'll forget to chant Hare Krishna. Literally. Uh, we might be having the chanting beads in our hands, but since our mind is completely engrossed in our material things, literally it is as good as forgetting to chant. Therefore, Krishna says, Ami Vigna e Murkhe Vishaya Kena Deva. Chaitan Charitam, the rascal may ask some material prosperity from me in exchange for discharging devotional service. But why shall I give him material prosperity? Rather, whatever he has, I should take away. This is for those who are materially attached. See, we have few options in life. Okay, just to be clear. One is just be material, just be material bhakti. Yeah, just there. I'm just one leg or quarter leg there. It's okay. I don't have any serious desires to make progress in bhakti. No problem. Right? Then we are like almost close to neophyte devotee, Mishra Bhakta, and yeah, we will possibly slowly become more serious in Krishna consciousness. Maybe maybe later in this life or next life or whatever. Right? That's fine. That's fine. On the other end, extreme is those who want just Krishna, right, and nothing else, and they'll make tremendous progress. No doubt, there's no doubt. Then there are those in the middle, right, who want to make material progress and also want material prosperity. They are the ones who are going to struggle. That's not a good position to be in, right? Because then Krishna will have to take away. Because fever has to be reduced. Fever is because of material possessions, material thought process, etc. How will the fever reduce? By only when it is taken away. When the object of infection or whatever fever is taken away, only then the fever will reduce. So it's better if we are that way, in the either the neophyte mixed devotion stage or pure devotion stage. Somewhere in the middle, very difficult. Somewhere in the middle, meaning seriously wanting spiritual progress, but at the same time material prosperity. Then we will have to face challenges. Because obviously Krishna would want us to tilt more towards wanting him than material prosperity. So then he might take away. When our material assets are taken away, we become very morose. But that is the test. That was stated by Krishna himself to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj inquired from Krishna, we are completely dependent on you. But still we are suffering materially so much. Our kingdom has been taken away. Our wife has been insulted. Our enemies attempted to burn us in our house. How can this be so? Krishna replied, Yasyam anugrunhami harishyeta dhanam shanaihi. Yes, this is my first business. If I especially favor someone, then I take away all his sources of income and place him into great difficulty. In this way, Krishna is Krishna is very dangerous. Krishna is very dangerous because Prabhupada is saying that is the test. That is a test. So even when are we just doing bhakti for material comfort, material prosperity, or are we actually wanting to do bhakti to please Krishna, Guru, and Krishna? So that will get tested. That will get tested. Of course, it's not that Krishna might not. Like I said, it totally depends on our desire, where we stand. If we simply want pure devotion and nothing else, and then we are ready to use everything that we have in Krishna service, Krishna will not take away. But whatever we are attached to, Krishna will take away. If you are attached to body, then Krishna will take away health. If you are attached to money, Krishna will take away money. If you are attached to family, Krishna will take away family. But that is, please remember, this is only for those who want both. That is not possible. Right? Otherwise, we can say either I don't want Krishna, I want material, I want to be just materially comfortable, and I'll do little bit bhakti. It's fine, it's good for me. Or I say, no, I don't want any material prosperity, I want only Krishna. So extreme situations are safe. This intermediate situation is a bit dangerous. So Prabhupada is saying, I have ample experience in this connection. I do not wish to narrate this whole story, but it is a fact that I received Krishna's special favor in this way. When I was 25 years old, my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, ordered me to go preach. But I thought, first of all, I shall become a rich man, and then I shall use my money to finance the preaching work. See, not a bad thought, huh? Not at all a bad thought. It was not like Prabhupada is thinking, let me become a rich man and then be materially prosperous. He's saying, let me become a rich man and then I shall use my money to finance the preaching work. I had good opportunities to become a very rich businessman. An astrologer even told me that I should have become as rich as the wealthiest man in India. Astrologer told him, but Krishna had other plans. That's the reason why devotees don't go to astrologers, because none of the whatever astrologer says doesn't have to be true for in the life of devotees. There were very good chances. I was the manager of a big chemical factory. I started my own factory and the business was very successful. But eventually everything collapsed. And this way I was forced into the position of carrying out the orders of my Guru Maharaj. So it is, see, but the important thing was that Prabhupada wanted to carry out the order of Guru Maharaj. He did not just neglect it or he did not reject it. He did not reject the order. He said, yes, I want to do whatever my Guru Maharaj is saying, but I'll prepare for it by earning money, becoming rich, etc., etc. So here Prabhupada is saying I was forced to carry out the order. When all my material assets were taken away, then I approached Krishna saying, you're the only shelter. See, many people say, oh, Guru gives like, Guru gives very strong instructions. What will I do? And like in Prabhupada's life, I mean, Guru gave an instruction and he lost everything because of that. Why? Because Guru wants disciple to go to Krishna, not get stuck in this material life. So we have to have full faith in Guru. If Guru is saying something, we should have faith. Otherwise, there's no point in taking the initiation. The whole point of initiation is after considering a person as worthy enough of surrender. We should surrender. Worthy enough means what? That I have full faith that he will take me back to Krishna. That means whatever his statements, whatever his orders, whatever his instructions are all as good as Krishna's instructions, because he's a representative of Krishna. If we don't have this mood, we should not take Diksha. We should not get initiated. Just for the sake of, I also got initiated, I also got a spiritual name, I also got Tulsi Mala. Of course, I mean, nowadays I see people even without initiation chant on Tulsi Mala. All kinds of crazy things. Anyway, so the idea is that he had an order from his Guru Maharaj and he was preparing in his own way, but Krishna and Guru had other plans. It was not that he was even trying to reject it, but he wanted like a little bit roundabout kind of way, which was not approved. So he lost everything. And when all my material assets were taken away, then I approached Krishna saying, you are the only shelter. See, this is very, very important. We have to come to this position. Krishna, you are the only shelter. You are the only shelter. Whatever be the material position, right? And if we are intelligent enough, we will come to this stage very early in life. But most of us, like we were reading yesterday, we want to go through life's experiences. We are not that intelligent. That we simply hear from Shastra, hear about lives of devotees and just say, oh, why don't I just simply surrender now? Because that conviction doesn't come. Conviction doesn't come. So we have to suffer. We have to go through situations. Then we'll realize, oh, yes, yes, yes. Now I agree. Now I'm taken full shelter of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is akinchana vitta, the property of the materially impoverished. When one is bereft of all material opulences, then one turns to Krishna, and now I'm realizing that I have not lost but gained. Prabhupada is saying, I'm realizing that I did not lose anything by, my material, whatever, my business collapsing, etc. I gained. I gained because I took complete shelter of Krishna. So this is the whole intention actually. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is to fully surrender to Krishna. And fully surrender means theoretically we'll say yes, yes, but then we want to retain independent thinking, independent desires, etc. That's not taking full shelter of Krishna. Taking full shelter of Krishna means taking full shelter of Guru, meaning his instructions are everything for us. And no independence, but retain intelligence. This always we have to remember. No independence, but use intelligence to implement the instructions of Guru and Krishna. Such a person will be completely dependent on Krishna. You are the only shelter. And person who goes through difficulties, in normally people, other devotees don't understand, right? When some devotees are going through difficulties and they are very sincere and they want to achieve Krishna, that just is to make sure that there is some obstacle preventing full surrender. So Krishna is creating that situation. So obviously the devotee will gain. Obviously he will gain because he will get Krishna at the end. So Prabhupada is saying to lose material opulences for Krishna's sake is not a loss. See, but this is my own personal experience. I've seen saying that when we are in difficulty, when we lose higher vision, like, stop when we stop thinking about Krishna, our position, we being servants, we being dependent on Krishna, that Krishna is our only shelter. If we don't think about all that and we just look at the material problem at that level, meaning on the material platform, then we will feel helpless and, frustrated and all this, all kind of negative emotions. We will feel unenthusiastic. We will might want to even give up bhakti, etc., etc. But that is the purely material vision, material platform, on the material platform. But if we just raise our head above the material platform and look, oh, Krishna is there, oh, Guru is there, oh, Parampara is there, oh, Krishna is just taking away all the anarthas from my life, so that I can completely surrender to him and perfect my life. That's all. That's all. So Prabhupada is saying rather it is the greatest gain when one becomes akinchana, having nothing to possess. Krishna becomes one's only riches. Expressing this understanding, Narottam Das Thakur says, Haha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanu Sutta Juta Karuna Karahai Bara Narottama Dasa Kai Nathe Liya Ranga Pai Tumi Vina Ke Ache Amara. A beautiful song. Krishna, but for you, I have nothing to claim. I have no possessions. You are my only possession. So please don't neglect me. See, this has to be our mood. Of course, great devotees say, don't neglect me because they want service. But like Prabhupada is saying, in this stage of surrender, we can just come to Krishna and say, Krishna, you are the only shelter. Only you can protect me or take care of me or whatever. Then at higher platform, we'll say, Ashlishava Padaratam Pinastumam. Okay, whether you're going to protect me or kick me or whatever, you are my master. But we shouldn't artificially, try to imitate that stage. In our stage, if we feel like, oh, Krishna, I want your protection, I want your shelter, then we should pray for that. And we should fully depend on Krishna. Yes, and Rakshishati Vishwasa. I have faith. Yes, Krishna will protect. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is just faith in the words of Krishna and Guru. That's all. There's nothing else. We just don't have faith, and that's the reason why we take so much of time to surrender to Krishna. We just have to have faith. Krishna is saying, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Shanam Vraja. Give up all nonsense, just depend on me. Prabhupada says, what is the difficulty? Difficulty is our stupid mind. Right? Which just drags us away from Krishna every opportunity. But these great souls, they show us by example. Oh, Krishna, I don't have anything else. You are my only possession. So please don't neglect me. This possession is very nice. When one does not depend on anything material, but simply depends on Krishna. See, this is amazing statement. It does not depend on anything material. Meaning if somebody doesn't have money, they don't depend on money. If somebody doesn't have health, they don't necessarily depend on the doctor, but simply depend on Krishna. One has attained the first class position of Krishna consciousness. So just imagine if our life situations are pushing us towards this. Simply being dependent on Krishna, how fortunate we are. Because very soon we will reach this first class position of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna is addressed as Akinchana Vitta. When one becomes materially impoverished, you are the only wealth. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta gunavrittaye. When one takes you as one's only possession, one immediately becomes free from the activities of the material nature. So this is the indication. This is the indication. When one takes you as one's only possession, one immediately becomes free from the activities of material nature. That means that they're not doing any activities on the material platform. It's all for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. In other words, by accepting Krishna in this way, one attains the transcendental position of the absolute Brahmabhuta. This is the Brahmabhuta stage. By accepting Krishna in this way, saying, "You are my only possession, I'm ready to do whatever pleases you." Brahmabhuta. Atma Ramaya. At that time, one becomes happy with you, Krishna. Krishna, you are happy with yourself. And one who surrenders to you becomes happy as you are. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Prasannatma. So the devotee becomes happy. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Krishna himself. He is entirely self, entirely spirit. We, on the other hand, have a body that is different from ourselves. I am self, but I possess a material body. But when we actually become dependent on Krishna, who is completely self-satisfied, we can also be self-satisfied with Krishna. So this is an indication of somebody who is completely surrendered, reached that transcendental platform. He is self-satisfied. He is Prasannatma. He is not affected by anything material, and that those will be the tests when one is not affected by anything material. So it's a very exalted position. To even get here, then Mad Bhaktim Labate Param, Krishna says. After that, you will get pure devotional service. And to reach here is certainly difficult yet easy. Difficult because we've been living life of sense gratification for multiple lifetimes. But easy if we simply follow the process, if we simply follow the instructions. Kaivalya Pataye Namaha. The Mayavadi philosophers, the monists want to become one with the Supreme. The Supreme is self-satisfied, and they also want to be self-satisfied by becoming one with the Supreme. Our philosophy of Krishna consciousness is the same, but instead of becoming one with Krishna, we depend on Krishna. So we don't become one with Krishna, meaning we don't think that our position is same as Krishna. We always feel dependent on Krishna. We depend on Krishna. This is actual oneness. If we simply agree to abide by the orders of Krishna and have no disagreement with him, we are situated in actual oneness. See? No disagreement with him. And whenever we read orders of Krishna, we should read it as orders of Guru. First of all, we should know what are the orders of Guru. And then we should not have any disagreement with orders. Many times, Guru will not personally call us and tell us, okay, this is my order to you. He will give an instruction in a class, in some general, communication that he is making to all his disciples, well-wishers, etc. And we should treat it as his order. We should not neglect it. And then we might not always be qualified to carry out that order, but we should always be preparing. Oh, my Guru Maharaj has asked me to do this. How do I? I'm not qualified. Beg for mercy. Pray for strength. But no question of having disagreement. And that's the reason, the devotees have to hear from the Guru before taking initiation. Because they have to know, oh, will I be able to will I be able to execute the orders? And every Guru will give orders because he is himself following the orders of his Guru and preaching Krishna consciousness. So every Guru will have orders on how to surrender, how to serve the mission, etc. If we don't know this at all, then that initiation has no meaning. Initiation has no meaning. We should know the order. We should not have any disagreement with it. Then we are in actual oneness. Then we are on the transcendental platform completely. It might look like we are on the material platform because we are going through some little suffering, etc. But that's just last traces of, karma that is just getting cleared. That's all. The Mayavadi philosophers think, why shall I keep my individual separate existence? I shall merge into the Supreme. But that is not possible. From the very beginning, we are separated parts of Krishna. Krishna therefore says, my dear Arjuna, you should know that you, I, and all the persons assembled on this battlefield were individuals in the past, individuals at present, and in the future we shall continue to remain individuals. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Krishna is the supreme Nitya, the supreme living force among the innumerable living forces. We living entities are innumerable. There's no counting how many we are. Similarly, Krishna is also a living entity, but he is the chief, the supreme living entity. That is the difference. One leader may have many followers. Similarly, Krishna, the supreme living entity, is the supreme leader, and we are subordinate, dependent living entities. So, this subordinate, dependent is very important. We can never think ourselves superior, right? Uh, so we should always keep ourselves subordinate, position of a servant. That we are dependent is not very difficult to understand. If Krishna does not supply us food, we shall starve because independently we cannot produce anything. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Krishna is maintaining everything and we are being maintained. Therefore, Krishna is the real predominator and we should be willing to be predominated. Shishya means willing to be predominated. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam, Arjuna says. Means willing to be predominated. Means Guru has to dominate us. Dominate. We don't like this word dominate. Oh, how can somebody dominate me? No, but Guru has to. That is the position of Guru. And we should be willing to be predominated. That is our natural constitutional position. If we falsely want to become predominators in this material world, we are in illusion. We must give up this illusion and always try to be predominated by Krishna and Guru. Then our life will be successful. Why am I adding Guru? Because it is the practical path. We should understand. We cannot just say, oh yeah, I'm predominated by Krishna. How? And then we just do whatever we want and we say, I'm predominated by Krishna. No, we will know actual predominance will happen by Guru. If we are willing to be predominated by Guru, then our life will be successful. If we want to remain independent, do whatever we want, then our life will not be successful. Simple. It's a very simple thing. Krishna consciousness is very simple. Provided we want to simply accept it and follow it. But because we don't want to simply accept it, we will create all kinds of complications, some convoluted, complicated theories, and we will create some hodgepodge, some speculation. That might be convenient for us, but that's not going to help us become successful in life. So pretty straightforward. Like I said, 3 options. Either be in neophyte stage, don't hanker for any major progress in bhakti, on material happiness, this, that, okay. Second stage, dangerous stage, which is I want Krishna also, and I want material prosperity, very dangerous. Third, safest and the best is just wanting to please Krishna, pure devotional service, not wanting anything material. Safest, fastest, best way to make our life successful. Okay, so I'll end here. If anybody has any questions, comments, we can discuss.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said that without initiation, we should not chant on Tulsi Mala also, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I see that few people take 2 beads of Kanti Mala also. So means how does that do? Means
Yeah,
without initiation
Kantimala.
only.
Yeah, Kantimala, actually, 1 round is enough. We just created some process. Basically, the idea of Kantimala is one who is following all the rules and regulations, not eating onion garlic, following 4 regulative principles, chanting, following all rules and regulations, they can wear Kantimala, not others. Number 1. Kantimala, if somebody is following those rules, they can wear Kantimala. But chanting on Tulsi beads is only after initiation, not before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for taking Kanti Mala also minimum 16 rounds is also required.
Not required, but and somebody is like serious. Like basically, see, that's why
Mm.
in our Hulimau center, I don't keep Kantimala on the counter. I have it with me. So if somebody wants
No.
the Kantimala, they have to come and speak to me, and then I will ask them saying that what their position is, what their sadhana is, etc. And then if I feel convinced saying that okay, they're really serious, they're making progress, then I might decide to give them. Actually, this is the process. We shouldn't be selling these things on the counter.
Mm. Okay. Got it,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
My question is, if those great devotees, the Guru, they are single, that's why they are fully surrendered to.
Single?
But
नहीं बाबा, कहाँ सिंगल है? कोई सिंगल नहीं है. Prabhupada was not single. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not single.
after they
Tom,
left family, then they fully
oh,
surrender.
no. We should understand this very clearly. See, when Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, everybody, they were super committed in their Grihastha life. They were super committed in their Grihastha life, right? Like they were not like, na theek hai, jitna ho sakta hai utna karo, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that's why he set the example, na? 8 hours of bhakti. He was practicing 8 hours of bhakti in Grihastha ashram, and it's not like he had one child, right? He had so many children. They have set example. In our parampara, there have been brahmacharis, sannyasis. They were also been grihasthas, but who showed by example how one has to live. And then, of course, yeah, ultimately they also changed their ashram like Prabhupada did. And we should read, we should study their lives. Only then we can understand, right? It's not that only. See, that is the reason why this whole Varnashrama is given. Because see, when we think about, Grihastha, yeah, Grihastha should end at 50, Baba, 50, 55, whatever, end that Grihastha commitment. No, then you're as good as a sannyasi. In fact, Shastra says that one who is actually living even in Grihastha life, but whose focus is only Krishna consciousness, is as good as a sannyasi. It's not that we have to change dress. Responsibilities have to be done and finished. This is important. If we don't have plan to finish, then yes, then we'll feel disadvantaged, right? And if we are attached to material life, then also we'll feel disadvantaged. But that's not what is expected out of Grihastha devotees. Otherwise, we'll become Grahamedi. Grihastha, Grahamedi, right? Grihastha means it's an ashram. It's an ashram. Ashram means center is Krishna. Yes, some devotees have difficulties, their partners are not supportive, family, house is not Krishna conscious. Yeah, that is how Krishna wants us to make progress. What can be done? So each of us will have our own set of problem situations to deal with, and those are required for us to get over, finish off all this material attachment. So we'll go through that. But who can prevent us from being absorbed in Krishna consciousness? Nobody can. Raghunath Das Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, saying that externally be like a Vishayi, be just like a modern material person. You're a businessman, your family, your parents, your wife, just be like a material person, but internally be absorbed in Krishna. So if our internal mode is absorption in Krishna, nobody can stop us. Nobody can stop us. No family can stop, no society can stop, nothing can stop. But we are very weak-minded, Hridaya Daurbalyam. And that's why we struggle with family, and then we think, no, I will come to, when will I become alone? We should not think like that. We are already alone only. We came alone, we'll go alone. Yeah, in the interim, we have been given some responsibility as Grihasthas. Okay, we'll take care of it just as a matter of duty without too much attachment on the material platform. Attachment to other jivas in the house should be just on the platform of they being souls who have been sent under, they've been put under my care, so I take care of them nicely. And anyway, we have to have jiva daya. We have to be compassionate to all jivas. Why alone our family? So that way, family life will not be an encumbrance, will not be something which is holding us back. If we become attached to it, then it is a bondage. Is that okay, Gyanendra Prabhu? Huh?
If we are serious, then automatically Krishna will give
Yes,
path.
yes, absolutely. That's the whole essence, Prabhu. We have to just be serious and sincere. That's all that is required. Then Krishna will make the way. Whatever. See, we don't know, right? We are insignificant jiva. Krishna knows best. He will make it. He will make it happen. No doubt. Yeah. Anything
Hare
else?
Krishna, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna, Prabhuji. One more
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, you always say that we should listen to Guru beforehand. So how do we listen? Like YouTube videos or
Shravanam. Whatever.
reading?
YouTube video,
Mm,
books. See, first Prabhupada. See, please understand this. First, we should
mm.
read Prabhupada's books. We should know
Yeah,
first what Prabhupada is saying because Prabhupada is our first Shiksha Guru. First,
correct.
we should have read Prabhupada's books. After we have read Prabhupada's books, then we will start hearing from Guru. And Guru doesn't mean also unfortunately, in ISKCON, we somehow follow this parampara, meaning if I am disciple of one Guru, then whoever comes in touch with me should also become disciples of the same Guru. Not required. Though
Mm,
normally it is true because birds of the same flock, same feather flock together, right? Like similar nature devotees come together. Like, um, but doesn't mean that it is an absolute necessity that everybody who comes in contact with me has to become disciple of my Guru Maharaj, right? So I normally encourage devotees to hear from other initiating gurus and then find the connection where that connection is, and the connection has to happen through Vani. It has to happen through Shravanam, right? And that has to happen, and then yes, then we've heard Prabhupada, we've heard Guru, then we are very clear what the path of life is.
sure, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, anything else?
Prabhu, quick question. This is Vinod.
Yes, Vinod Prabhu.
Yeah. So in case of Pandavas, right? We're quoting that example, Yudhishthira Maharaj's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, yeah. So when material opulence was removed, yeah, Krishna was there personally with them,
Yeah,
right? In
yeah,
every situation.
yeah.
But how do we understand, in a situations for us when all those things are going away? And because Krishna is not there personally for us, how do we understand that? Because is it because of our past karma, or do we see that the hand of Krishna for us to make progress?
Yeah, that
How
just
do we
depends
get that
on
assurance?
yeah. That see, it's a few things, right? This is the reason when Prabhupada actually answers this in his books, right? Saying that Arjuna had Krishna right in front of him. We also have Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, right? We have Krishna in the form of his representatives, which is
Mhm.
Guru, senior Vaishnavas, right? And so that is the reason why initiation is very very important, right? Because we have to surrender to one representative of Krishna, whom then we know. Yeah, I go and ask him this question saying that this is what is happening in my life, and then Guru will say, yes, okay, this is Krishna's mercy on you, right? Then we say, okay, this is Krishna's mercy on us, right? Even without that, actually, if you simply read Prabhupada's books end to end, right, completely, we'll clearly understand. Like I said, it just depends on the mood of the devotee. If the devotee is sincere and wants to really achieve Krishna, but is also materially attached, Krishna will take away. Simple. We don't have to
Mhm.
go and ask anybody also, right? It's already written. Prabhupada has written these guidance, rules, instructions, whatever, right? And then if we are not so serious about bhakti and we are like, okay, and chalta hai, time, whatever, how much ever I will, then it will just be our karma phala and just, our routine suffering. But for somebody who is seriously interested in making progress, but still also attached, it might be karma phala only, but it is directed towards a particular goal, which is to take away the attachment, right? And
Mm.
that intelligence will also be given by Krishna to the devotee, either directly through reading Prabhupada's book, some instructions through some other devotee. That instruction, that direction will come to the devotee, saying that this is because you are attached materially. And then we will know, okay, this is the reason, right? But for somebody who is not even thinking in those lines, it's not that is not the reason, right? The reason is just it was his own karma phala and he's just losing it. That's all.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody else? But we should not be afraid. We should not be afraid. We should just come on to the other side, right? Which is the safest, like I said. Just want pure devotional service. Just want to please Guru and Krishna. And no other desire in our life. Safe, completely safe. Whatever happens, we are in, like, Krishna is hand holding us, carrying us, taking us through all those difficulties which we anyway had to suffer because of our previous karma, etc. But he is helping us in such a way that we are going closer and closer and closer to him, right? So it's a very, very safe and best route to perform Krishna consciousness. So
So is that the test, Prabhu? I mean, when you keep losing and whether you're getting closer to Krishna or you're becoming more and more depressed.
yeah, like Prabhupada said here, saying that am I going to stand in front of Krishna saying, Krishna, take away everything. You are my only possession. I want your full shelter. Will we say that, or will we just keep running, trying to solve our material problems and not come to Krishna, not come to Guru? That will show where our mindset is, where our consciousness lies.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? We're already 10 minutes past. Okay, so we'll close here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha koti vaishnavanda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.